select when I was at the talk. I paid my money and I put that in there. And then I did not receive the information if I wanted to be a delegate to the district.
It doesn't make any sense. Why are we here?
At each of the caucuses, one of the things that Scott County does that I don't know that any other county in the state does, we ask for interest for the district and the state delegates.
And I did give that, and I was told that that would be done here. So I was not
That
told that I had to do it at that
means
point.
that your name is submitted to the nominating committee. We did not have a form that indicated that you were interested in attending.
How convenient. Sorry, that paperwork things were not done very well at that point. So I will remember that for next time.
There's been a motion and a second, correct? You don't have to second it?
There doesn't have to be a motion since it's a report of the committee. So if there's a debate, we can take 4 minutes for and 4 minutes
Okay,
again.
real quickly, Todd McGreevy, B11 again, folks. And if you read the rules, I understand that Mr. Kennedy read aloud that anyone who expressed an interest was included in the list, and then there were still some vacancies left. Now we could parse the nuances of what the rules actually say. They say they shall propose delegates and alternates to the district and state convention first from delegates to the county convention. Those are everybody in this room that has a white tag around their neck. So technically speaking, it should have come from that list first. Okay, let me finish, please. But what I heard was that there were still vacancies. So if there's still vacancies and everybody in this room was already considered, then they must not have been considered. Secondly, it says that if there are vacancies, then they may be filled by a random selection process. So you chose not to do that because of the word may, I'm taking it, correct? Okay, so you did it based on just what you said earlier, correct? Okay, I just wanted to clarify for that because I'm not sure that the rules are being followed. Thank you.
Those convention delegates who expressed interest, they either had expressed interest through a green form they filled out at the caucus, emails to the nominating committee, phone calls to the party or the nominating committee, stopping by headquarters, and we have all of that from members of the convention, the county convention delegation. All of you indicate to us you have the interest in serving as a district state convention delegate, are serving as a district state delegate or alternate delegate.
Thank you, Chair. I move that we amend.
We can't move on anything till we
I
vote
move that
on
we amend the slate to read as the Scott County Constitutionally Conservative Republican slate of delegates to district and state conventions. That's on all of your tables. There's somebody second.
Second.
I'll second it.
I just wanted to speak up first. All of the delegates on this slate have a clear.
we have a ruling from the parliamentarian. Okay?
You had your opportunity to have your delegates, the delegates that are here, or either the caucus or the Ryan said they're here. What you're trying to do is
We can't hear you.
what you're trying to do is to have delegates that are not here appointed today.
No, we're
That is not
here.
correct. Neither here.
There are people here who want to be delegates.
There are 123 delegates and 123 alternates who are nominated to go on the district convention. That's all of the slots. We don't have any more slots to fill. That means that if you don't want these people to go, you want to turn down this report and vote against the report. If the report cannot be amended, you have to turn down the report and start over. So there'll be a vote as to whether you want to accept this report or defeat this report. If this report is defeated, then we'll start over again with a new, the committee will meet again and submit a new report.
Point
of order.
Under those circumstances, I call for the question.
Question.
Point of order.
Yes, David.
Since you're asking for us to vote for this list, shouldn't we have a chance to... Wait,
Come to the middle, please, to the microphone. I'd like to reemphasize the fact that everybody that expressed interest is on that list.
That's not
true.
It's not.
I am not on that list, and I filled out that green card at the caucus. It happened.
The question's been called. Go ahead, David.
Okay, point of order, then basically is what I'm trying to say. That if we're going to vote this list, yea or nay, I think we should be able to make arguments as to why we should vote it nay. And one of them being that there are many of us who express interest in being a delegate who are not on that slate.
Can I rise to a point of order, please?
The reason for a point of order is because we're not following the rules that we agree to abide by. When you rise to a point of order, you're questioning it. We have a motion on the floor, a slate has been presented. The next thing we do is we move to a vote. If you don't like what this nominating committee did, vote it down. I think it's probably, we're getting into really a chicken fight here, and we should be talking about how are we going to go door to door? How are we going to get people out to vote? How are we going to do early ballots?
Jeremiah. One more, and then we're going to vote.
According to...
Okay, wait, what's the point of order?
According to Robert's Rules of Order, an original motion may be amended.
This is not a motion, it's a recommendation by a committee. For this vote, we are going to take a secret ballot. So I'm asking the ballot, all my ballot helpers to please go over. Carol, Train, we're going to do secret ballot.
I'm going to vote for Robert.
The vote is going to be either yes to accept the report or no, not to accept the report. I have a crew of ballot helpers which will hand out ballots to everybody. Please put your delegate tag up if you want to receive a ballot. And then we'll have them collect the ballots and the parliamentarians will...
Why does it have to be secret?
Vote on them.
Oh,
No?
It's just when you write it down, and as long as people can look at it, that actually makes me good.
Okay.
In order to get a ballot, please remain seated at your table and do not move around. We want to make sure that everybody who's supposed to have a ballot gets
Stand up there, I got it.
and those that are not supposed to have a ballot do not get one. So please stay seated.
I'm so glad I got it.
I was, secret ballot.
Okay, while we're doing this, in the order so that it's so that we can proceed with the convention, there are a couple people who have submitted letters to be read. Yes. You are voting for the slate of delegates and alternate delegates as read by the chairwoman of the nominating committee. A yes is to accept it, a no is to reject it. Roger, would you like to come up at this time and read the letter from our current national committee man, Steve Sheckler? Roger Hall has a letter to read, and we'll do that while we're conducting the ballot, so if you could please do so quietly so you can hear what Roger has to say.
Can we, debate this?
Thanks, Madam Chairman. Roger Paul.
Could everybody please be quiet? Thank you. Some of these people have submitted submitted letters, we'll hear some more later today, and I think we owe them our silence so that we can hear what they have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Reading a letter here from my friend Steve Scheffler, who was one of the Republican National Committeemen from Iowa, committee persons from Iowa. Addressing you, I'll try to change the person on it to make it a little bit more understandable. Dear friends and delegates, thank you for your participation in the Republican Party at the grassroots level. You fully understand what is at stake in this election year. Your involvement on behalf of freedom, liberty is crucial to saving our republic. We dare not wake up on November 7th to find that President Obama and Mike Ronstall are still in the driver's seat. Steve knows that he can count on you to do your part in working hard to get our delegates elected, all the way from the courthouse to the State House to the White House. Victory will be ours if we are united in our mission to elect principled constitutional conservatives. We must not get diverted by small minorities within the party that are intent on using personal attacks and character assassination to obtain their goals. Make no mistake about it, the radical left will be organized and will use everything at their disposal to try to destroy our candidates. Therefore, it is absolutely critical that we network and get our friends and neighbors involved in helping to elect our candidates, whether it be door knocking, walking in parades, making phone calls, or contributing money. Steve thanks you for the great honor that you bestowed on him by electing him as your Republican committeeman in 2008. He made a promise to you that he would not be a bench warmer. He also promised that he would not be a go-along, get-along committeeman who made no impact on behalf of Iowa at the RNC. Steve has kept those promises. Unlike the presidents of the past, he has traveled our state far and wide, attending hundreds and hundreds of county central committee meetings, county fundraisers, and functions. We've seen him several times in his term here in Scott County. He has also been willing to assist our candidates, whether that be phone calling or door knocking. Steve promised that he would take on the Republican establishment, and he has kept that promise. Steve found that change sometimes comes slowly at the RNC. With that in mind, immediately upon his election, he was one of the co-founders of both the Republican National Conservative Caucus and the Republican National Committee Steering Committee. This was a revolutionary idea at the RNC and a concept that former Chairman Michael Steele did not like and tried to stamp out. Steve was part of a small group that signed a discharge petition that forced Mr. Steele to allow the full committee to debate resolutions that puts our party on record as supporting, whether it be our opposition to Obamacare, opposition to cap and trade, opposition to the National Popular Vote Compact, exposing the United Nations Agenda 21, and many, many more. Steve has been a co-signer of every single conservative resolution that has come before the RNC. As a member of the Rules Committee, he fought vigorously to defend Iowa's first in the nation caucus status, a task that is ongoing year after year. In addition, at the Rules Committee, Steve fought to get rid of the gender requirement for chairman and co-chairman of the RNC. Steve is also working with other conservatives to work to diminish the voting strength of the 6 territories. Guam, I don't know, whatever the full name, but all 6 have 3 RNC representatives, like all 50 states, and yet their combined population is minuscule. Doesn't even compare to New Hampshire or Rhode Island. Steve's longtime leadership in working to convert the Iowa Republican Party from a liberal establishment club to a very conservative party is well documented. 2001 Campaigns and Elections magazine rated him as one of the top 10 most influential